The GOAT debate. Novak Djokovic's Australian Open 2022 debacle. Should women be paid as much as men? These are just some of the most polarizing topics in the tennis world, but none of them come close in terms of being as divisive as the topic of racket breaking. Some think that destroying a racket is comparable to a crime. Some think that it's the coolest thing ever. Personally, I'm on the side of those who think that there is nothing wrong with letting all of your frustrations out by breaking a racket. And that is why today I'm going to rank the greatest racket destructions of all time, and I'm going to do it tier list style. But few things before we start. First, one entry for one player, and I'm doing that just so we don't have this list dominated by Kyrgios or Benoit Paire. Second, I understand that I might have missed some of your favorites, so please let me know of them in the comment section down below. Maybe we'll do a part 2. And thirdly, but most importantly, it's not that deep, so let's do this. First up is the GOAT, Roger Federer, with his memorable racket throw in Miami against Novak Djokovic. As we all know, it's probably the only time when Roger broke his racket, but oh, it was beautiful. Like, he put his whole shoulder into the smash. I love it. I love the ferociousness of the smash, and I love that it was provoked by his rival Novak Djokovic. So I'm going to put that racket smash. I need to find it in the tier list. Where is it? This is here. I'm going to put it in iconic. It is iconic. It is an iconic racket smash that everybody remembers. I joked about the GOAT thingy with Roger before, so now I'm going to genuinely present my GOAT, and it's Ernest Gulbis. Like, the racket break wasn't that special, but again, it was so like destructive. Like, look at the racket here, like, look at it. It's like in an L shape. Like, it's insane how much strength you have to break the racket like that. With that being said, I don't think it's anything special. I just wanted to include one of my own Latvians in this tier list, so I respect it, but it's nothing special. It looks like indoor tournaments in France bring out the most vicious racket breaks, cause next one up is Sasha Bublik. I mean, just look at this. Boom, boom, 4th shot and 5th, and the racket is done. But he's not done yet. The second racket gets the same treatment. Okay, we are done here, right? Psych. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sasha destroyed these 3 rackets in, I don't know, like 30 seconds, which is unbelievable. I love it. I love it in terms of racket breaking, so he is going into the iconic tier. Well, since we are talking about France, we cannot ignore the crazy guy that is Benoit Paire. I love this racket break. Like, he hits an awful smash, falls on his ass, and bow, bow, bow. He looks like a little kid breaking a racket on his ass. Like, that's genuinely looks embarrassing. I understand being mad at the moment, but yeah, it does not look good. So Benoit is going to be the first one in the circus needs a clown tier, because this tantrum looked genuinely like as if he was a kid at the store and his mother didn't buy him a candy. It just looked pathetic. But his opponent Marcos Baghdatis is capable of doing something similar as well. And this racket break is kind of similar to Sasha Bublik, where he breaks one and then the second one. I love that he doesn't take the second one out of the wrapper. It just looks like he's genuinely lost his head, like his head is on Mars. So I respect it as well. I love it. And in terms of racket breaking, this either goes into the iconic tier or I respect it, but I feel like iconic should be reserved for genuinely like racket breaks that everyone remembers. So I'm putting Marcos in I respect tier. The next entry also comes from someone who couldn't contain himself after a lost set, and it's from Stefanos Tsitsipas. I mean, I understand that we all remember this racket break where he hit his dad when he was hitting the racket against the chair, but I don't know. I love this this thing that he did, like like he's Christ on the cross. But in general, I feel like even though everyone remembers this tantrum from Stefanos Tsitsipas, it goes in the circus needs a clown here, because he hit another person when he was crying about losing a set. So I don't know. It's just embarrassing, and that's why he goes into the bottom tier. Now let's move on to his bestie, Kyrgios, and obviously he probably should have like 10 entries, but I loved this one the most, where he broke his rackets in the tunnel because he didn't want to get a code violation from the ump. And I respect it, I love it. I think it was smart, and that is why he is going to be rated highly by me here. And by rated highly, I mean it will be iconic. The next one up is someone who also could have had a lot of entries for this video, and it's Fabio Fognini. Well, for him it's a quick one, like I love the boop, a nice punch, like bow, 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 and he's done with the racket. He said that he didn't take the break point. It's a quick one. And you know what? I just love everything about it. I don't know how he moves forward with his shots, but he bow, 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 bow into the fence. Actually, fun fact, I watched this match live for reasons, and I wanted to react the same way when he lost this match. So I fully understand him, but is it an iconic racket break or unique? Or is it just I respect it because it's definitely not circus needs a clown? I'm not sure. You know what? I would say is the greatest racket break on the Challenger Tour. You know what? I'm going bold here. I'm putting him into the iconic tier. Moving on from an unknown player to an underrated racket breaker in the form of Grigor Dimitrov. And again, I absolutely love it. He goes to the racket, thinks about it. Should I break and lose the match? Yes, I should. Bow, bow, 2 shots, racket is broken, shakes the hand of the umpire. Everybody knows it's respectful, everybody knows he just needed to let out his frustrations, and it's understandable. But is it anything special in terms of the tier list? It's a tough one. I want to put him into the unique tier, but then I think maybe it's iconic. But then maybe I think, it's nothing special, I respect it. So, you know what, I'll go between I respect it and iconic, and I'll put it as a unique racket break. Now let's talk about a guy who is synonymous with on-court outbursts, and it's Andrey Rublev. I can say it already, it's embarrassing. I hate these things when he hits his knee with the racket, like, he just looks like a, I don't know, for the lack of the better term, he looks like a bitch, I'm sorry. He looks like a bitch, and I just can't look at him when he does these things, and that is why it's an easy decision to put him in the circus needs a clown tier. Okay, we saw something embarrassing, so let's move on to possibly the manliest racket breaker in tennis, Stan Wawrinka. And you all probably know what I'm talking about, like this is and boop over his knee. It's just, I love it. I love it. It looks great, it looks manly, and it doesn't look like he's crying about something. He just mad, and he decided to, it's time for this racket to go. And honestly, I think it's the best way to break a racket. So I know it's not like anything special, probably it's not iconic, but it's the most unique way to break a racket. I just love it. It looks cool. It makes racket breaking look cool. Andy Roddick is up next with probably the most thoughtful racket break of all time. I love it. I love that he breaks a racket here, like it's already done, like that's it. But then he asks, have you given me a warning yet? Umpire says no, and then he goes to boop, like broke the chair, broke something else, like fucked everything up, but at least he got only one code violation, and I respect it. So that is the reason why I'm probably going to put it in I respect it tier, because it's not doing enough to be iconic, or does it? Or does it? Because I haven't seen someone break a racket then ask the umpire if he has given him a code violation and then broken it even more. You know what? I changed my mind. It's iconic. It's an iconic racket break. And now it is time for the man who everyone expected here, Novak Djokovic. And I included 2 racket breaks because they are really similar, but I love it. They are his trademark right now. When he breaks the racket against the post, it looks vicious, it looks like he's genuinely mad, and it looks like he does it for a reason, because if I hit something against the post, I feel like every bit of my anger would leave me, and that is why he does it. And I believe it's the most unique racket break right now in tennis, and that is why I'm going to put it in the top of the unique tier. Coming up next is the most recent entry in this video, and it comes from Carlos Alcaraz. And you know what I'm going to talk about. Like this is textbook racket breaking. Like this is incredible. He knows beforehand, even before he lost the point, he knows that I am going to destroy this racket, and he does it in a spectacular fashion. Like Bang! First one. It's already broken. Second one, thank you very much. And third one, yeehaw! It's already going into the iconic tier, like, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. The guy who would have won Grand Slams if it wasn't for the silly umpire, Sasha Zverev, is next up. And like, this is the worst way to break a racket. Like, you are genuinely threatening a person sitting in the chair. Like, I understand, umpires are awful at times, but you're just a bitch for hitting someone with a racket. Like, reevaluate your life. Like, what are you doing? You are a piece of something. And for that reason, he goes obviously in the circus needs a clown tier. I'm looking at it and I'm happy with this tier list. There are definitely some racket breaks that I could add to this tier list, but that is why the second part is a possibility. But overall, looking at what I have now, I think it looks great. So put your rankings in the comment section down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy, my friend.